Alright, so the first thing you want to do is take your duck out of the package and make sure that you clean it with some fresh water and then paper towel it dry. I always start with the wings first, what you see here, kind of maneuvering the wing backwards, kind of in the armpit of the duck wing. And as you get down, you'll see that you start to see the actual bone. A lot of people are afraid to start this process because they think that they're going to have to chop like through bone, but you don't have to do that. You should be able to use a simple knife. This is just a knife that was bought for a few dollars at a grocery store. It's pretty sharp, but still you don't have to chop through bone. Once you bend this back, you can kind of see where the bone kind of separates. It's a ball and joint socket, and you just kind of cut through that area really, really simply. So you do both wings in the same fashion, and then you would start on the leg. Where the leg separates, you can see cutting through there, down past the leg. You're not cutting through any bone. It's next to the body, where it meets the rib cage area, and then again bending the leg back, you're able to find where the joint is to the duck leg. And what you want to do is just kind of cut through the meat part of it a little bit and the skin part in order to get down to where the bone is. And then you're just going to bend it back and find that same joint, just like the wing. There it is. And then you can easily just cut right through. And you're going to want to do that, obviously, to the other leg as well. Now what you're left with is the body, the back, the breast, the neck. And there's a spot right in here where the backbone will easily kind of break. And once you get through, again, you're not cutting any bone. Once you get through that part of the backbone, it separates, and you're able to simply remove that piece of backbone. Once you do that, then you can kind of focus your efforts on removing the rest of the backbone and the neck from the actual breast. And right here, this would be one of the few spots you actually have to get through bone, but it's where the rib cage kind of meets up with the breast. And see how it looks like teeth? Like it almost looks like a set of teeth right there. It's not like sawing through regular, like a whole bone. It's really simple. They break apart really easily, and you don't have to hit it very hard or damage your knife if you just kind of go easily right along the line of where that rib meets. And then eventually you can kind of just start pulling it apart. It's got to cut all the way down to it. It separates completely. As you see it separate there, you got to do that to the other side. And then once that's done, you should be able to kind of peel it back. And there's only one other spot where you'll notice there'll be some bone. You peel it back, you have to cut a little bit away. There's some bone or cartilage in there that can be cut or removed. You can actually see the aorta where the heart was. And that's where it separates there again. Should not have to saw through bone. Should come apart. Just a little bit of work with your hands and cutting away at some of the meat and cartilage there. And that will remove the neck and backbone. Now you're still left with the breast and breastplate. Don't throw away any fat either. Trim all the fat off and save all of the fat, because we're going to use that in a different piece. Now underneath where those teeth were, we're just kind of taking the breastplate away from the meat. So that you just need your knife, simply go along the bone as slowly as you can, and go along the bone kind of separates in the middle. You can cut or break the middle and it kind of separates. You'll see a little plate in there. Once you kind of get that separated, you can start peeling away, just slowly going alongside the bone there. And then once you get underneath, you can take your whole knife, and it actually, once you get to about this point, it kind of just peels right off, and you'll see the tenderloin underneath the breast, and all that's left is it's hooked a little bit to the wishbone. And that's just hooked to the wishbone there. It looks like it might be complicated, but I mean, look, it's still duck. So even if you mess it up, you can still cook it and it's still going to be delicious. So then you just do it to the other side, so you're left with just the breast, no bone. The wishbone comes out pretty easily. And then you just cut in the center to separate the two breasts. Now you can see there might be a little bit of cartilage or something stuck on the side. You might want to take that off. Right there, I'm kind of trimming the pieces off that are cartilage or bone. That's kind of fragments that are left on there. What's really important, I mentioned saving the fat. Super important with these duck breasts that you now trim the fat so it's not overlapping the breast. So you flip the breast over and you can kind of push the meat back and see. Now I'm using my knife at an angle. Okay? So you see how it's kind of, you lay the breast down, this kind of fat is sticking out of the sides. You want to take that off at an angle towards the top of the breast. So you angle it 45 degrees and cut it. Now you see how it's kind of come away from the sides of the breast a little bit now. Same thing on the other side here. When you flip it over, you don't want to take it all off because when you cook it, this is going to be super important. And then you just score a little bit. Lightly with your knife, score it down to the flesh. Just a little bit. You see that? That's going to be key. That's a super key item to make a perfect pan-fried duck breast, which it's in another video. And make sure you save the fat as well. Super key. And then you got to do the same thing with the leg. Take the extra fat and skin off. So you got this stuff on the body. You flip the leg over, and you see when you lay it like this, you can see it. You can see the fat on the outside of the meat. That's no good. You got to take that stuff off of there. But you're going to save it. You're not going to throw it in the garbage. So once you get that kind of accomplished and shaving it back a little bit, it's the same process. You kind of see the knife's at a 45-degree angle. You're trimming around and trimming off you're literally trimming the fat. All right. See? Now it looks nice. So now you got all your pieces. Break the wings off. Broke them into segments. There's the two legs. And the breasts. And you just broke down a duck.